Call it a 7-Eleven. Guy comes in. I mean, already right away, the way he's handling the gun, switching hands multiple times. I talk about the book Blink, right? It talks about those subconscious things that we have going on. This guy may have already been picking up on that, but he does something here. The guy looks away. He's not very secure with the gun, and he takes action. Now, the timing of it, we're going to go back and look and review that right now because it is important. There's a lot going on. You're seeing these guys come in and help, which great job on those guys, right? Wherever they were back in the meat locker, whatever they were doing back there, they stepped up. This girl's on the phone. People are at least working together. But I will say that it usually takes that one person to step up for everybody else to be like, oh yeah, we're fighting. And that's probably gonna be you, especially if you're like, I'm the guy that needs to take action in this scenario. So let's go back from the beginning and break this down each step. So we're in a 7-Eleven, we're sitting there checking out. Now, this guy with the hat on, go ahead and pause. This guy with the hat on already has his head down, right? If I'm in a public arena, guys, as much as possible, I'm trying to keep my head on a swivel. If I can see past the door for a second, I might have seen that guy come in and at least started to visualize a little bit more about what I was able to do. So just think about being this dude right here with the cowboy hat on. What can he be doing to set himself up for success? Okay, this guy is obviously handling the gun, and if you know and you have firearms training, you can clearly tell he's already uncomfortable, he's uneasy, he doesn't have a lot of training. Go ahead and let it play. And he starts demanding something from the cash register. Now, pause. I'm within arm's length reach of this guy, all right? And if you guys know and have trained with me, that's where I want to be. I've got a guy with a lack of experience. He's right here. Now I know what to do. And this guy takes charge. He has enough courage and fight in him to crash that gap. Remember, always talk about the 3 points of counter weapon. Clear your body of the line of attack. Control the firearm. Now, the one problem here, go ahead and let him grab on again. The one problem that I have here is that the gun is now waving at this innocent bystander back where the milk is. She is in direct line of that gun. So yes, you have to make a move, but as he's breaking contact, he's trying to get that gun on. I don't know if he's thinking too much about where that girl is, but it's something to consider. As soon as I start controlling that firearm, I want to get it offline of anybody else that's in view, especially the people that are in your immediate surroundings. Okay, so that's one area where she clearly got swept. A+ answer, nobody gets swept. But he did something about it. He was able to take control. Again, that one guy stepped up and led. There's some commotion going on and everybody else comes in. Now, obviously the firearm's on the ground. Somebody's got to get control of that thing, right? In the fight, you want to control it. You want to keep an eye on it where it is. What you don't want is his buddy coming up right behind him to grab that thing and use it against you, or for him to regain control of it. So that is a priority, even though the fight is with that guy. You still have to control him. You can't just ignore him to go to the gun. And that's one thing that people make the mistake of too, is that they'll grapple with the gun will go flying, and they'll be like, oh, that's the thing I was worried about, and I'm still fixated on it. So now I'm gonna go chase the gun around, and then after you do that, now the guy's clipping you in the chin, you're dazed and stunned, he's picking the gun back up and putting a bullet in you. So just think about the context of that and why it matters. It's a great scenario. You see variations of like this happen all the time. Put your head on a swivel, understand firearms training. If you think you're gonna do this, guys, if you think you're gonna be the one to take the gun away, get solid training. Seek and find training. And then ultimately, these guys come to a close here, subduing this guy. This is where control, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, clinching, wrestling, this is where this is all gonna come into play to make sure that guy gets in a position. He's a criminal. He came in there waving a gun around, he put people's lives at risk. Now, you need to be able to get him in a position where you can wait and call the police, right? And allow somebody else to come in and get him in a point where you can have him in a controlled position and turn him over to the authorities.